Now, pupils who fail or perform poorly in matric often feel discouraged and hopeless. However, failing matric does not mean all is lost. There are several options that are available to help pupils progress after failing their matric, one of which is to rewrite matric in order to pass a subject they failed or did poorly in. For more options that one can consider, we are now joined by Mothei Ramagaga, Academic Manager at StarSchools. Mothei, appreciate your time this afternoon. I suppose the first thing to talk about is the amount of pressure that young people face when they have not performed as well as they would have liked, or they have completely failed.
Good afternoon. Absolutely. The pressure is real. Our young people are under a lot of pressure, right? People are under a lot of pressure from society, and they also, obviously, opportunities to compete for opportunities that are available currently in the market, and take into account the economic climate and the labor market currently, which is not as opportunities are not as great as they used to be. So as things stand, obviously matriculants that did not do well, they obviously face even more pressure as a result.
Now, what's clear is that, in fact, what a lot of young people think to themselves is that this is the end of the road when they fail. But obviously it's not. I mean, there's the option of upgrading or rewriting matric. Talk to us about those two options.
Absolutely. I think the message needs to be very clear. First and foremost, I think let's congratulate the matriculants that did well. Well done to them. Really congratulate them. But the matrics that did not do well, we need to be very clear. There are options out there. It's not all lost. It is quite important. I'm talking about the program that we at StarSchool have, which is the matric rewrite program. So the matric rewrite program, it gives the learners an opportunity to improve their results, such that after the improvement of the results, then they will have an opportunity to gain an entrance at a higher learning institute. And the program that we've been running for years, and it's really been a great success. It has helped a lot of matriculants. We've got alumni that are in various careers, medical doctors, engineers, and so forth.
Mothei, what I'm interested to know is, what is it that you do that the schools themselves aren't actually doing?
I think what we do, we allow learners a second chance, a second opportunity. For basically, there are two options, right? Rather, two type of learners that we then look at to assist. First and foremost, we've got a learner that we can say has done 6 subjects at school, and as a result, and has passed matric, but they did not pass with good enough results to gain entrance at a university, right? For example, into engineering or medicine, or whichever field or choice of their career, right? Then they would then come to us and say, I need to then do the following subjects, maybe maths, English, and science, which then they need to improve. Maybe they would find that in a lot of cases, let's say learners got level 3, level 4, which is not sufficient in terms of the entrance requirements. So what we offer a learner-centered program that enables learners to be exposed to the following. Our program takes the learners through the following. First and foremost, it takes them through a year-long program that enables them to go through the syllabus one more time, identify learning gaps, and make sure that by the time they sit in for the year-end exam again, they are really competent, they are confident, and the depth of the subject is very deep, and as a result, they can do well in the matric exam. Right. And then the second.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on, please, Mothei.
Yeah. Then the second learner that we're looking at is a learner that says, I have failed matric, and I don't even have the options that the one that has passed matric has. And that's the same learner that we then look at and say, please come through to our program. And with our program, because it's such a learner-centered program, our program it enables the learners to really unlock their potential. To answer your question, what is it that we do that schools do not do? We design a program that's really designed for the learners. Number one, to make learning much more interactive. Number two, to focus on those key areas where the learners were struggling, right? To identify those and enable and assist them with various techniques and understanding of the subject itself to enable the learner to really be positioned exam.
Now, how do you maintain the rewrite pass rate?
Look, we've got a formula that we've been using over the years. We keep refining the formula. I think what's important, because our program is learner-centered, we identify those key areas that the learner is struggling from. And you can imagine a lot of our learners come from very challenging backgrounds, where the schools are not well resourced, where in certain cases the school did not have a full-time teacher throughout the year, or those kind of challenges that the learners have been facing. So when they come to our program is learner-centered. We focus on making education exciting, making education great. We make it a very exciting journey, right? That makes sure that learners really take ownership of their responsibility to study, right? To participate, to learn, and really take advantage of the opportunity that's been provided to them. And as a result, over the years, we've had learners that would come into a program that are very shy, that are very demotivated. And at the end of the program, they are the most confident people. They are the people that are teaching fellow students during classes. And that's the culture that we've managed to create at StarSchools.
It's an important point, because I was going to talk about demotivated children. A number of these learners, some want to commit suicide because they've failed and need all sorts of assistance because of the emotional challenges that they're facing, which obviously affect their mental health. Is it something that you actually focus on deliberately? I mean, when you talk about a deprived learner coming to you, a child who is struggling, who lacks confidence, a lot of that could speak to mental health issues. And when you juxtapose that against the explanation you've given us, where at the end of the period or the term or the time of running exams, these kids have been completely transformed, is it something that you specifically work on, or is it a byproduct of the environment in which they find themselves in?
What we are doing at StarSchools, we are looking to create an enabling environment. And that enabling environment, the recipe to that involves a few things. We need to make the classes exciting. We need to get very vibrant educators that are very passionate and competent. Number 3, we also need to make the environment at school as well to be friendly. We need to provide learners with the necessary material that really makes their journey throughout the year to be quite an exciting one. We want to create. We are quite intentional about it, and we have seen that this is what enables our learners to perform.
Now, how many subjects can one rewrite?
The learners can rewrite a maximum of 6 subjects at StarSchools for our National Senior Certificate.
Okay, so one of the things that we picked up with the bachelor's pass, for instance, is that some of the passes are at 40% or between 40 and 50%. Is this the same target that you are fighting for, or do you expect your learners to perform better than this?
Look, what we are looking for, because our program, as I mentioned before, that is learner-centered. So it's learner-centered as an enabling platform for the learner to be propelled towards their career of choice. For example, some of our learners, we also assist them with career guidance. We also enable them to understand what is required for for the field of study they have chosen. All right, so it becomes quite important, therefore, that the learners that we are looking, if somebody comes in here with 40% and the requirements is to have 60% in mathematics, as an example, we make sure that this is understood upfront for a learner. We make sure that they understand the importance of setting targets and go after those targets. And with our regular assessments throughout the year, it enables the learner to consistently assess their own competence and also track their performance to make sure that are they really working towards that goal, and also is it within their reach. Where there are challenges, obviously we will definitely intervene and make sure that the learner really, at the end of the year, we can really have a great smile from our learners like we have been over the years.
And like that smile that you have right now, Mothei. Now, my final question is around some of the alumni that you've talked about that are in, that have made incredible progress beyond what they obviously imagined. Now, how many of these students that come to you have no idea of what they're actually capable of doing? You know, they've come in there with a 20% or a 30% average and feel that maybe, you know, they can do a little bit more, but actually outperform even their own expectations.
I think part of we understood that. I think at StarSchools, first and foremost, we understand the objective and definition of education, right? So we understand it's an experience that needs to be afforded to our learners so that they also not only understand that it's a lifelong a journey, but also two things, that we take them through a journey that enables them, first and foremost, to understand that they have potential. Number two, and to understand the value of the potential they have and the importance of having that potential being reflected in that results at the end of the year.
Mothei Ramagaga, Academic Manager at StarSchools. Appreciate your time at this afternoon.